Hi, it's Grammy from Grammy and Grandpa Read, and today I have a book for you called Fancy Nancy at the Museum. And it is written by Jane O'Connor, and the pictures are done by Robin Preiss Glasser. Oh la la, I am overjoyed. That's a fancy word for very happy. Our class is going to a museum. I look extra fancy, so does Mrs. Glass. I love your shirt, I tell her. Mrs. Glass tells us, today we will see masterpieces. That's a fancy word for great paintings. The bus ride was very bumpy. Bump, bump, bump. Bree is my bus buddy. My tummy feels funny, she says. Bump, bump, bump. We stop for lunch. Bree is not hungry, but I am. I eat my lunch, and I eat her lunch too. I have 2 eggs, a juice box, carrot sticks, an apple, a big cookie. Merci, I say, and that is French for thank you. Now we're back on the bus. Bump, bump, bump. We will be there soon, says Mrs. Glass. I hope so. My tummy feels funny now, very funny. Maybe 2 lunches was 1 lunch too many. Mrs. Glass, I cry. I'm going to be sick. Stop the bus, Mrs. Glass cries. The bus stops. Mrs. Glass takes me to the side of the road. I get sick. I drink some water, I suck on a mint, my tummy feels better, but I am not overjoyed anymore. I am all dirty. I want to look extra fancy today, I said sadly. I understand, Mrs. Glass says. I have an idea. We get to the museum, come with me. I come out and Mrs. Glass's idea is spectacular. That's a fancy word for great. Lucky you, says Bree. I got to wear her shirt and hat. It's a French hat. I tell her it's called a beret. A man from the museum takes us to a gallery. That's a fancy museum word for room. I love all the paintings, the masterpieces most of all. I see paintings of trees and lakes. They are called landscapes. We see paintings of flowers and bowls of fruit. Those are called still lifes. The last painting is a picture of a lady. A painting of a person is called a portrait. The man tells us. I like her hat and her fan and her beads, I tell the man. They are lavender. Lavender is my favorite color. It's a fancy word for light purple. The man smiles. You are a very observant girl. Then Mrs. Glass tells us, observant means noticing things. Nancy is very observant indeed. On the bus trip back, I do not feel sick. I feel almost overjoyed. That night, I make a painting for Mrs. Glass because she is so nice. It's not a masterpiece, but someday I will paint one, and it says, Merci from Nancy. Fancy Nancy's words. These are all the fancy words in this book. Beret means cap. Gallery means the room in the museum. Landscape means a painting of nature. Lavender is light purple. Masterpiece is a great painting. Merci is thank you in French. Observant is noticing things. Overjoyed is very happy. A portrait is a painting of a person. Spectacular means great. And still life is a painting of things such as flowers or fruit. I hope that you enjoyed this book. Please subscribe to our channel and like the video.